Something is wrong with Mom and Dad. In this video, I will tell you a terrifying story that made me question reality. Imagine, you live with your parents, everything seems normal, but then you start noticing strange things. Mom no longer looks at you the same way, and Dad acts as if you're a stranger. And the scariest part, one day you realize that these people are not your parents. What happened? Where did your real family go? And most importantly, how do you escape? Watch until the end, because the ending of this story is truly terrifying. My name is Max. I'm 16 years old, just a regular teenager living with my parents in a small town. We didn't have a mansion or any dark family secrets. Just an ordinary life, an ordinary routine. But sometimes the ordinary turns into a nightmare. Chapter 1: Strangers in the House. Every morning was the same. Mom made breakfast, Dad drank his coffee, and I lazily poked at my cereal, waiting for it to be time to leave for school. But that day, something changed. When I woke up, the house was dead silent. No TV, no smell of food. I went downstairs and saw them. Mom and Dad sat at the table, completely still, just staring into nothing. "Mom? Dad?" I called. They turned to me at the exact same time, but their movements were too slow, like their bodies were being controlled by something that didn't quite understand how humans worked. "Good morning, Max," Mom said. Her voice was flat, emotionless. "Good morning, son," Dad repeated in the exact same tone. A chill ran down my spine. They never talked like that. I sat down and pretended to eat, but that feeling of wrongness didn't leave me. Mom was putting food on my plate, but her motions were mechanical, like a robot. Dad was holding a newspaper, but he wasn't turning the pages. I asked, "What are you reading?" Dad slowly turned his head to me and just stared. For way too long. Chapter 2: Erased Memories. I went up to my room, locked the door, and grabbed the family photo album. I had to figure something out. I started flipping through the pages. And then I froze. Every photo was the same pose, same background, same clothes. I grabbed my phone and opened the gallery. Not a single photo of my parents. I knew I had taken pictures of them, but they were gone. What the? Then I heard footsteps stop right outside my door. Then, a knock. "Max, open the door," Mom said. Her voice sounded distorted. I didn't answer. "Max?" Now it was Dad. I turned off the light and lay in bed. Silence, but I knew. They were there. Chapter 3: Who are they? I woke up in the middle of the night, and I saw them. They were standing in my room, not moving, just staring. I held my breath. "He's still asleep," Dad whispered. "Not yet," Mom replied. They left. I waited until their footsteps faded, and then I made my move. I grabbed my flashlight and started sneaking downstairs. At that moment, I knew. I had to find out who they really were. I carefully opened the basement door and went down. And there were bodies. My real Mum and Dad. I almost screamed. Then, I heard footsteps behind me. I didn't have time to turn around. Chapter 4: The Replacement. They were right behind me. "Now you know," Mom said. I ran for the stairs, but Dad grabbed me by the throat. "Too bad you didn't listen." I struggled, but his hands were too strong. "Soon you'll be like us," Mom whispered. I felt a sharp sting in my neck. My vision blurred. I couldn't move. I couldn't even scream. I heard it. Something was being pulled out of me. My bones started breaking. They were taking me apart, and then putting me back together. I wanted to close my eyes, but I couldn't. I saw everything. I felt everything. I understood that I was dying. Chapter 5: The New Max. I opened my eyes. I was sitting at the table. Mom and Dad were smiling at me. "Good morning, Max," Mom said. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. I just smiled back. I had become one of them, but the story didn't end there. Chapter 6: Something went wrong. Days passed. I felt strange, like I wasn't supposed to be here. I looked in the mirror and saw someone else. My hands moved weirdly. My lips didn't feel right. I tried to remember myself, but I couldn't. And then I heard a knock at the door. Max, is that you? I turned, standing in the doorway. Was me. The real me, pale, exhausted, but alive. I froze. Behind me I heard Mom whisper, "He wasn't supposed to come back." And then I understood. This story wasn't over.